I have found a lot of my images on Pinterest where when you click on them, it brings you to a website, but it's not my website, it's somebody else's, and regardless of where you click, you can't find my website or find out who took that picture. And I don't quite like that. I'd like it at least to have some sort of credit, so if somebody liked the photo and wanted to use it for something, they knew how to contact me. So I end up watermarking my images with my name or website so that if anybody sees it anywhere, they know where it originated from. So you turn on watermark, and you can say simple copyright watermark. Well, this is just a preset. So there's a choice called edit watermarks where you can make your own. And if you want to look at that briefly, I'll choose it. This comes up, gives you an example picture, happens to be the picture I have here. And down at the bottom, you can type in whatever you'd like to have overlaid on it. Could be a copyright symbol and then your name. Could be your website. One of my websites is thebestofben.com. I might decide to put it on there. Then we have some choices for how it looks. So I can choose the font if I want it centered or aligned on the left and the color of the text. I like to lower the opacity on mine so it doesn't degrade from the picture so much. And oops, I got to select the text down here. So when I lower the opacity, hopefully it will affect it. And actually, this is for a shadow. That's why it's not affecting it. So this will put a shadow underneath it, which can be useful if you have white text and it ends up being on a white background in a photo. You are not going to see it. But if it's got a drop shadow underneath it, that will help to separate it from the background. If you don't want the drop shadow to be all that dark, you can lower the opacity on the drop shadow. Then down here, where it says watermark effects, is where I have the opacity for the text itself. And that way I can start to see through it, and I like to put it nice and light so that it's not too distracting. Then I can add some space between my watermark and the edge of my picture, and here where it says inset, I can determine exactly how far that is, inset from the left side or from the bottom, so it's not bumping into the edge. And down here where it says anchor, I can say what corner would I like it on, or do I want it right in the middle to really annoy people? That kind of stuff. Some people like it in the middle because then it makes it so you can't just crop it out and makes it so it's more blatant of a mark. So anyway, I can create this. You're not limited though to only using text. You can also use a graphic. If you have your logo and that's what you'd like to put on it, I in fact use a little graphic. If I go to graphic, I'm not sure if I'll be able to quickly find mine or not, but we'll find out. Day one, export. Ben badge. And I don't think this is resized properly, but let's see. I'll pull on it, see if you can see what it says. I'll bring up the opacity. There, do you see the best of Ben? The little camera in the middle. So that's what I use for my badge. It's got a glow on the outside of it, a slight yellow glow, so if it's ever on a dark background, it separates a little bit. And so I can specify how large by grabbing the corner here and pulling, and then I'll lower the opacity a bit so that you can still see a lot of the photo through it, like that. Okay? But I just switched at the top from text to graphic. So once you got all this stuff, I can come up to the top where it says custom, click, and it just says save current settings as new preset, and I'll do that, and I'll just call this Best of Ben badge. And now anywhere within Lightroom where you can create a watermark that would go on top of your image, I should be able to access this one that I just saved. So maybe I have this particular one and I also save that text one by switching over to text. And maybe just make that text a little smaller and save that one out too. All right. I'm going to click done, and now in here I can switch between those. Which watermark do I want? The badge. So to get to that part where I edited it, I was in this export area, turned on the checkbox for watermark, and right in this menu I can choose edit watermarks. That's what we were in a moment ago. Then finally at the bottom it says post-processing, and down here it says what should it do after you're done exporting this image. Do you want it to show you in the Finder? Let's say it saved it in a weird folder on your hard drive. Should it pop up